Now, here's just some examples of other stressors. We look here at this study on the academic stress, on the influence of academic stress on the illness and injuries of Division I football players. Whenever we introduce academic stress to them, well, they're habituated to football, but they're not habituated to this academic stress. So we see here on this classic picture by Jan Lemure that during training camp there was a lot of injuries. During tests there was more than there were during low academically stressful periods. So we just know from this that it's like, hey, whenever we're dealing with tests, maybe we need to back off a little bit because there's more injuries than normal, but there's not as many as training camp. Well, whenever we actually look here at B, I think that we see something a little bit different. So A is the entire team, which is essentially this slide. C is for the guys that didn't play. And most of the time they don't matter, or there's not enough stress induced because they're not playing. And then B is only the athletes that played. If we look here, HPS is high physical stress, LAS is low academic stress, and HAS is high academic stress. So high physical stress is training camp, high academic stress is a test or project week. 1.13 times as likely to get hurt, but there is no significant difference. If we look at high physical stress to low academic stress, we see that they're 2.84 times as likely to get hurt, and that is significant. And high academic stress to low academic stress is 3.19, and it's a 0.0009 p-value. So what we can see here is that the athlete is more likely to get hurt or sick from a test than they are from training camp, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. But again, they are habituated to the demands of football. The demands of an academically stressful environment, that's something that they only experience every once in a while versus every single week during the end season. Hence, they're not habituated to it, and it's a bigger problem. Now, the athletes are often on, as so are coaches. They always have to be up, and they always have to perform, as do you. There's practice, games for the athletes. Well, for you, there's training sessions in addition to this, where you have to be up. And it's not just one team's session, typically. Even whenever somebody only has one team, they're typically running multiple sessions with those teams. It's nothing for a team of 30 people to have 6 groups at an hour and a half each. Well, that's 9 hours of having to be up and on. Now, what are some common behaviors as a result of this? Well, athletes and coaches, they tend to turn to alcohol and marijuana. Why? Well, these are central nervous system depressants. So this allows them to feel more calm, to allow things to slow down, to stop the mind racing. Is this necessarily the best thing to do? No, but it's something that people turn to because it has quick and instant results. Alcohol is a CNS depressant, so is marijuana. But it's also irritant to the ANS when taken in excessive quantities. It seems to be an attempt by the athlete and coaches to self-medicate and calm down, and they can't relax any other way other than that substance. And with alcohol, though, we have to realize again that it is an irritant, right? How many times have you drank too much and woke up in the morning and felt rested, even though you might have been asleep for 9 or 10 hours? It's not very often, because alcohol will actually disrupt the sleep cycle, so you're not getting the deep sleep. So while it seems like you're doing something to calm you down, to help you sleep, to feel better, while you might pass out, you aren't truly sleeping and recovering. So that might be an issue there. Now let's look at some various recovery means that these work for the athletes, but guys, you're coaches, and you need them as well. So we're going to utilize some other areas of research and recovery that was studied for sports. So sport is stress, work is stress. The Soviets, the Germans, and the Eastern Bloc did intense investigations into recovery methods, and we're going to go over some of those. We're looking at the restoration of heart rate variability in the autonomic nervous system status, It's global and transferable, meaning that if you are improving your heart rate variability from doing one thing, it's probably going to transfer over to the other. So if I improve my heart rate variability through the use of some nutritional and physiotherapy means, then I'm probably going to be feeling better in all aspects of my life. Now, let's look at some of the recovery restoration basics. Whenever you get down to it, you do the opposite of what got you there. If you have high stress to the autonomic nervous system, you have to do low intensity to restore it. If you have high intensity, which led to increased ions, you need to do on things that would buffer it. So like working the aerobic energy system that would pull out the hydrogen ions and allow it to go down the chain, the electron transport chain. All of the following recovery modalities are agreed upon by the Russians and German that I'm going to be showing you. I've tried some of these with the athletes, most of these with the athletes that I work with. And anecdotally, they work well. I didn't have a big enough sample size to get anything published, but the athlete felt better. Their heart rate variability scores improved. So, yeah, I don't see the need to repeat the studies to show the same thing, but with a smaller sample size than what they had.